Hello! In this video I will make a new installation of the Flutter SDK on a notebook using Manjaro Linux. This video might also be useful for users of any Arch Linux-based distro. So, let's start. First, you have to access flutter.dev and click in Docs. Get started. So you will have an installation guide. Click in Linux. First, let's check if your system has all the dependencies that Flutter requires. So open the terminal, and for each one of these packages, check if they are present in your system. So let's run with the pacman command, pacman dash is bash, for instance. Sorry, you have to include you have to run this command as superuser, okay? Pacman s bash. Enter your password, and you already have this package installed on your system, you will get something like this. Warning, bash version is up to date, reinstalling. So you don't have to install this again and run this for the next dependence like cur. Sudo pacman cur. Already present file. Already present git. Already present in my system. mkdir. It's not present here, but I have mkdir. Okay, mkdir is present. It's a basic Linux command to create new files, new folders. Okay, rm. You can check if some command is present by running whereas, but mkdir and rm they are very common on any Arch-based distro. They are commands of the core Linux. And probably they will always be present on one system, okay? Let's run unzip. Already present, which I have used this recently, okay? xzutils. Sudo pacman xzutils. Not found. So let's check Arch Linux xzutils. Some packages may be here named as they are used in Ubuntu, but on Arch Linux some packages have other names, okay? Like xz, it might be found as xzutils, but here on Arch Linux it's called just xz. So pacman xz, and that's already installed. And zip. Already installed. So probably your Arch Linux, if you have a default installation, you don't have any kind of customization, probably you have all dependencies that Flutter requires, okay? If you are running Flutter test command, probably you have to install libglu file, okay? But it probably will be present on your Arch system, okay? Let's check Arch Linux libglu. It's called GLU, okay? So let's check this with pacman GLU. GLU is already present on my system, so I have to do nothing. So let's get started with the installation of the Flutter files, okay? You can install this using snapd, but let's make the manual installation of Flutter, okay? So you just click here to download Flutter on the stable version, but you can also download other kinds of the SDK package, okay? You have the SDK channels. Any kind of channel has its own features because they are in different stages of the development of the framework. You can download the dev, beta, or stable channel, but I will enter in more details about Flutter channels in another video, okay? So let's make the installation of Flutter stable. Just click the button and wait the file for download. Note that I do not recommend you install Flutter using AUR packages. When you run Flutter as root users, Flutter will generate a bunch of files, and all these files will have the same ownership of the user that had run the Flutter command. So by running Flutter as root, you will generate files that are owned by the root user. And if you are running your system as expected as a regular user, you will have some trouble with this kind of files. We will have to execute commands to change the ownership of files that Flutter had generated every time you run some kind of Flutter command as root. So to avoid this, I strongly recommend you install Flutter from the tar file downloaded by the official Flutter website and not from any kind of AUR package. Once the download is finished, you will have a tar file like this, Flutter Linux and the version and the channel. So let's make this compression process of this file. First, let's open the terminal and go to our home. In my home, let's create a directory to install Flutter. I will call this Flutter install, and it will be a hidden directory in my home folder. So mkdir.flutter install. Now I will enter this directory and execute inside this tar xf and get my path and get the path of the Flutter file that has been downloaded. Once the tar command is finished, you can run an ls command and you will see that the Flutter directory was created. So let's enter. So you can enter this directory and you will see that you have a bin folder. Inside this folder are present all the Flutter binaries that will make the Flutter work. So now you have to set the path inside the bash configuration file of your terminal. As you can see, the Flutter command will not work after the installation. It's because the Flutter path has not been set inside the bash.rc file, so bash cannot recognize Flutter as a command. So let's add this to our bash.rc file. You have to execute your favorite editor and edit the bash.rc file that is inside your home folder. At the end of this file, you will add a single line export path and a path to your Flutter bin folder. In my case, home, my username, Flutter install, Flutter bin. This path variable at the end of the string, and just save the bash.rc file. Okay. At the first time it will not work. You have to exit terminal and open it again. Now you can execute a Flutter doctor command and you see it works. But Flutter has now some other problems. You have to install the Android SDK and the Android Studio. So let's make this by using AUR. As you can see, you find the package Android Studio in AUR. Now copy the git string, the git URL, and go to your temporary folder and execute git clone and paste your git URL. It will download the package Android Studio and go inside the package folder and now execute make pkg-se. Now you have to wait some minutes until the package downloads and installs Android Studio. Definitely, Android Studio isn't a lightweight package. It will take several minutes and you'll have the package installed on your system. So after the installation, let's run Flutter Doctor again. And it will still show an error in Android 2.10 and Android Studio. So let's install the Flutter plugin on Android Studio and the Dart plugin, that is a dependency of Flutter plugin. Let's open Android Studio. I will import no settings. Let's wait until Android Studio opens. Go next. I will make a standard installation. We'll make the live theme. Okay. Now just wait for Android Studio. It's installing the Android SDK and the Android Emulator files. Now some minutes passed and the installation of the Android SDK build tools, and Android Emulator is finished. Now let's finish the installation and let's configure Android Studio plugins. Just search for Flutter. You will see the Flutter official plugin from flutter.dev and click Install. Accept. The Flutter plugin requires Dart plugin to be installed, so let's install. Wait some minutes and restart the IDE. Now you have Android Studio with the Flutter plugin installed. Now let's close Android Studio and open a new terminal. Let's execute Flutter Doctor. Now Android Studio has been checked as OK. Now let's solve the next issue, that is Android toolchain. To solve this issue with the Android toolchain, just run Flutter Doctor Android licenses. To solve this issue with Android licenses, just run Flutter Doctor -- Android licenses and choose the option Yes when asked, and always accept all the license it will show you. After you accept all the licenses, you will have this status in your Flutter Doctor. The Android toolchain will be OK. Now our only issue is with connected device. There is no device available. So let's open Android Studio and create a new device. Configure IDE Manager Android Virtual Devices. Create a new virtual device. And you can choose any kind of device you like. I will create a default phone with model Pixel 2. You will be prompted to choose release of Android. Okay. You can choose any release you like, but I will use the most recent. Android Studio will download the Android SDK for this version. It will take several minutes. After the installation ends, you can finish. Click Next. You can choose a name you like to your Android virtual device, and you can select some other options, but I will use the default. Now you have created your first Android virtual device. Let's launch the Android virtual device and open the terminal again. You will run now Flutter Doctor again. Let's await for the device to connect. Now the Android device is up and running. Let's execute Flutter Doctor again. Now the device is connected. So you have now all the necessary conditions to run Flutter with success. So let's create a new Flutter project. And I will go to my temporary folder and create a simple project with Flutter. Create new project. Flutter will create. All done. Now let's run this project. I will go inside the project folder and execute Flutter run. It will launch the project inside my Android virtual device. After some minutes, the app will be up and running inside the Android virtual device. So you will see the famous counter app. That is the default start app that Flutter creates when you build a new project. So it's done. You have Flutter running on your machine, and now you can set up your environment in Android Studio or in Visual Studio Code and gain another tools to control your Flutter development process inside a more complete tool to develop your apps. So I hope this video was useful for you. Please give a like and subscribe to my channel for more Flutter tutorials, more Flutter content. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video.